up half the night, worried sick, now that you've put this thought in my head that my boyfriend Mike Dexter's cheating on me?
Your imaginary boyfriend. It was just an example.
Nope, Listen, we've established over the years you can't be trusted, so I have taken matters into my own hands, and I have commissioned a film crew, and they are on their way to space right now to see what astronaut Mike Dexter is up to and who he's philandering with.
Imaginary astronaut.
And we're gonna call the show Two Timers with Jess and BJ. Are you not gonna do that?
Wait, but now, so you're the cheatee, he's the cheater. What does that make me?
It makes you the host of our reality show, and you're doing a really crappy job so far because you just missed your cue.
Okay, reality.
Two Timers with Jess and BJ. Yeah, you know, a reality show, you follow people around.
I don't like reality shows.
Well,
except for the reality shows I like.
Well, I will warn you, there's a chance you may get stabbed. People get a little feisty.
I accepted that when I accepted this job, so I'm ready.
All right, speaking of this job, we gotta get to work, which is settling up and dealing with our over-under for today. I won yesterday's over-under. Which was total field size. I took the under on 782. It was a little close. The bookie was in the vicinity. 757 players total. 435 showed up today.
Yeah, 435 today. It wasn't that much of a sweat, though. It was kind of a late surge to even get it that close.
I was never super stressed about it. But then I see like tweets of Justin Smith coming in on a G4, and I'm like, oh God, don't bring friends. But still a very good field. 757 runners.
Yeah.
Plenty of good names left. One of them is the subject of our over-under for today.
Okay.
Who has changed his name, to clarify.
Yes.
We first met him in Florida. You know him as Squeaky. Now he wants to be called, I'm not kidding, double question mark.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Prince thing when Prince went from Prince to the artist formerly known as Prince with some weird symbol. So now Squeaky wants to be a double question mark.
So do we call him the punctuation, formerly known as Squeaky?
I think we're just going to call him Squeaky.
All right. Well, double question mark hyphen Squeaky. Ended the day well above average with like 130,000, 140,000, somewhere in there.
Yeah, let's say 130.
So we're going to ask the question, how many chips will double question mark end the day with?
The bookie set the line at 65,000. Let's see, you won the most recent one. We're tied. I'll go first.
I don't understand that logic, but sure.
I'm basically just picking something. I am kind of bearish on Squeaky. I'm going to say under.
That's fair.
Odds are most people in tomorrow are going to bust.
That's true. We've got about 340 coming back. Still, double question mark has me asking a lot of double questions.
He has changed his style quite a bit.
He has, it's night and day. I mean, he has been quiet as a mouse, minus the squeaking part. He's been very quiet. When he won big pots, there was no celebrating, there was no big show, there was no astronaut helmet. So I kind of feel like when he's focused, and we've seen he can be focused in a mass chips, I think that he can do well. So I'm going to say over, because if he does survive the day, I feel like he's going to have more than 65K.
Agreed, but I don't think he's going to survive the day.
All
Sorry,
right.
Squeaky, question mark.
Question mark. All right. We had 757 people because we had an absurd number of re-entries, or you could call them two-timers.
Yes. Let's see. How many did we have on day one? 322 players?
Yes.
181 players busted, and of those, 116 re-entered.
Which is, you said 63%?
About 63%. It'll be
Which
plus
is
or minus
a lot
1 or 2.
higher than I think anyone really expected.
Yes, I never would have guessed over 50%. I would have thought a minority of the players who busted would have rebought, and it turned out to be nearly 2/3.
Especially because we had so many big names survive the day on day 1A that I was surprised to see so many people show back up again. There were plenty of big names that did buy back in. Some of them had similar results as day 1A. Tony Dunst, Cornell Simpan, Justin Young, Kathy Lieber. There's a very long list of people who entered twice and busted twice. Those are some of them.
Double bust out. There's got to be like some new term for that or something. I don't know, like double question mark, double rainbow, double bust out, something. Dodecahedron.
I don't think anybody's really angling to come up with a great, hey, I busted twice, let's come up with a nifty name for it.
It should be a
That'll
mark
make
of,
it feel better.
It should be a mark of shame, like the 7th box.
Mark of shame. People bust. It happens. There were some people, though, that really turned things around on day 1B, got their second shot and made it through. Matt Affleck, Dan Heimiller is up there in the chip counts. Alan Kessler had a big day, of all people.
Yeah.
Reigning champ Andy Frankenberger came back and ended the day, I think, a little above average.
Right about average. Average will probably be low 60s. I think he's got mid 50s.
He's right in there. So he's in good shape. And then I spoke with Owen Crow, who was Club WPT Player of the Day, because he came back a second day and did really well, ended up with about 140. And he said, like, I played like crap on day 1A, and it seemed like he was pretty, that's, I think, his exact words, and he was very happy to get the second chance. The person who took advantage of the second chance the most, though,
yes,
JC Tran,
who had a very JC Tran-like day late in the day.
I
and
mean,
just
he showed up a
distanced
little
himself.
late, too, and just took off. And every time I walked by, chip pile was bigger and bigger and bigger, and I couldn't even really see him in big hands, that I'm inclined to believe a lot of it was just JC being in that zone of winning every pot.
Oh, I thought you were saying something about being short. Like his chip stack was so high and you're so short you couldn't even see him because he was behind the chips.
Yes, let's make short jokes. Aren't you cute?
Wasn't a joke. But yeah, JC played day 1A, busted, played day 1B, crushed the field.
And he's going to be, he ended the day chip leader today, and he will be the overall chip leader when the 340 or so come back tomorrow.
Right.
He ended the day with 265,000. Next closest person was day 1A chip leader Matt Berkey, who had 248.5. So huge day
Agreed.
for him. I'm sure he's very happy with the re-entry rule. It seems like it was a big success all around, especially amongst the pros who appreciated not like traveling out here and not having to just go home the next day.
You get more than 60% of the players taking advantage of something, I'd say, yeah, that's a pretty solid success.
So that big turnout led to a prize pool of over $2.5 million, higher than last year's, even though last year's $5,000 buy-in was higher. We had more runners.
But you could only buy in once, and we have more people. And first prize will be about the same, but a little higher.
$750,000, so a teeny bit higher than what Andy Frankenberger won last year, and a huge return on your investment if you invested $3,500 or $7,000. Either way, really.
Yeah, at that point, it's not really going to make a difference.
Yeah, top 81 places are paying, which min cash is $7K. So if you do min cash and you double entered, you're gonna break even, lose a little bit on the trip considering expenses.
But that's what you get when you enter in twice.
That's tournaments, and we're not going to get to the money tomorrow, but
I sure as hell hope not.
But we'll see.
Actually, I sure as hell hope we do. It's just not going to happen.
Nice. But something people are starting to be honing in on in the next few levels. All right, we kind of ran down JC Tran, big story, re-entries, big story, check, check, check. Time for
Everything
last
off
check
the
mark
piece of
on the
paper?
list.
All right.
Question of the day. Favorite cheater?
All right. In history, my favorite cheater is not actually a cheater. Shoeless Joe Jackson, who was part of the Black Sox scandal, the 1919 World Series. They supposedly threw it, but Shoeless Joe played his heart out, batted .375, didn't commit a single error, threw out a runner at the plate, banned from baseball forever for being a cheater, did not cheat. So he is my favorite cheater.
Okay, great.
And you?
Up, down, left, right, A, B, select, start.
What is that?
It's the Contra code for Nintendo.
It's a cheat code?
Yeah, it's a cheat code.
The only cheat code I know is like the old Atari 2600, the game Adventure, where if you take the bridge into the gold castle, you can find a secret room, you pick up the invisible dot, take it to another wall, drop it by the wall, you can go through the wall, and when you get through, you get to see the credits of the guys who made the game. That's the only video game cheat I know.
I'm sorry, I stopped listening to you when you told me you picked up a bridge and took it into a castle, because that sounds like nonsense.
Oh, and your whole double, tap, yada, yada, yada makes perfect sense?
Double, tap. Do you think it's choreography? What do you think next? Shuffle, ball, change, hop, step?